So welcome into the GVT Football Review Show, where we will be taking a look at what went down in Matchweek 3 of the Uefa Champions League in the first round of games, which were played on Tuesday night. There were some pretty interesting results, some pretty interesting scorelines, and without wasting any more time, I'm just gonna get the ball rolling and let's jump into the review show. Now we'll start off in Russia, where Locomotive Moscow took on Atletico Madrid in a game that ended in a 1-all draw. And in my opinion, this is a pretty decent result for Locomotive Moscow, building on from that impressive performance against Bayern Munich last week, where, well, they just fell due to the difference in quality. They just fell to a 2-1 defeat to the best team in Europe, which is Bayern Munich. And this time around, they went out there and put on quite a performance. And one thing that I've noticed is that this team is one heck of a team at home. You just don't go to their place in Locomotive Moscow and think that you're going to get an easy result. They're definitely going to push you. And of course, Atletico Madrid had some pretty decent chances, and in all sense, in all honesty, they could have won the game, but the goalkeeper for Locomotive Moscow was on his A game. Joao Felix had pretty interesting shots on goal, and well, if it was any other keeper, I should say any other day, Joao Felix should have gotten perhaps a hat-trick, but the goalkeeper was spot on, had pretty awesome saves from Luis Suarez as well, and they're just outdone by a pretty good goalkeeper, and Locomotive Moscow held on after they'd gotten the equalizer after Raul had put Atletico Madrid in the lead. And as I say, pretty impressive performance. They currently sit third in the league table, but yeah, now let's see where they build on from there. But for Atletico Madrid, they sit second in their group stage table, and they've done pretty well for themselves so far this Champions League season. And so from there we go on to Red Bull Salzburg, who took on Bayern Munich, and it was a thrashing in the end. It was a pretty tense performance, a pretty tight performance, and at some point it had gotten to a 2-2 scoreline where Red Bull Salzburg managed to actually get the equalizer. Well, they drew first blood, yes, and of course when you have someone like Robert Lewandowski, who does not disappoint from the penalty kick, with a cool, calm and collected penalty kick to give Bayern Munich the equalizer before they found themselves in the lead. And well, there was going to be quite of a shock when Red Bull Salzburg got the equalizer as well after Bayern Munich had gone 2-1 up. But the last few minutes, the last 12 or so minutes, it was just all Bayern Munich scoring 4 goals. And well, when you have strikers and forward players with the likes who have the quality that Bayern Munich have, in the likes of Robert Lewandowski, you have the likes of Serge Gnabry, you have Leroy Sané, you have Thomas Muller, then really when on the night, in my opinion, Bayern Munich were opened up a little too often, and you know, there should be some criticism in that sense, but when you have a 6-2 scoreline, then that overshadows what you did wrong, because that is one hell of a scoreline. 6 goals over 90 minutes, that's pretty big. And I think the defense, you could say, could have the excuse that we have the players on the other end of the pitch who can get us out of this rut, and Bayern Munich absolutely did that. He had Robert Lewandowski scoring a brace, Leroy Sané getting his first Champions League goal for Bayern Munich, and for my case, as I say, the best team in Europe. But what happens when you have a team that knows how to sit back very well, and on a day when your forward line isn't, you know, as lethal in front of goal as they were yesterday? I think Locomotive Moscow has to be an example of that, where Bayern Munich just had to pull out something spectacular in order to win the game last week. So what happens when they go up against some of the teams in Europe who know how to sit back and your forwards and shooting? So this is something that Hansi Flick will have to address, try to get the defense to keep out the goals, and I hope that, you know, they can turn up. But when you do have those sort of players in front, then, well, for a team like Bayern Munich, then I think it can work out for you. It can work out for you in the meantime. And then Real Madrid took on Inter Milan in a 5-goal thriller, where Real Madrid just edged the Italians to a 3-2 victory. And this was a pretty entertaining and thrilling game, because the scoreline says it all, 3-2. And I think after the game, both these teams will wonder, must have sat down and wondered, what the hell was that? What the heck was that? And none of them would have expected that, because Real Madrid went 2-0 up, first of all, and perhaps they were gifted these opportunities. Hakimi Ashraf playing the ball in, that tried to play the ball into the goalkeeper, but Benzema managed to steal the ball and put the ball into an empty net. And of course, there was poor marking by Inter Milan. If there is anybody that you have to mark in the box, it has to be Sergio Ramos, but they left him to jump heads and shoulders above anybody else, and he got the second goal for them. But Real Madrid fell apart defensively, and there was some wonderful play from Inter Milan to get both those goals, Lautaro Martinez and Perisic, getting them the equalizer, getting Inter Milan the equalizing goal. And Inter Milan had plenty of chances to actually seal the game, but just did not take those chances. And at the end of the day, you could say it was quite a bit of luck, I should say, because the goal that Real Madrid scored for the third one, and which was the winner, which was by the unlikely hero in Rodrigo. Vinicius Jr. was actually trying to play the ball into Benzema, but there was a second striker in the box, and Rodrigo was in the perfect position. It was a pretty spectacular finish, and they got the winner. But in all honesty, both teams have a lot of work on their hands, and for Real Madrid, it seems that Zinedine Zidane, every time he needs a result, almost the case like Manchester United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, his team shows up for him and they get him the result. And yesterday, Real Madrid needed the result because they had not won in the UEFA Champions League this season. And of course, after that 6-0 thrashing that Borussia Monchengladbach had, they had to get themselves up. They had to pick themselves up, and they had to get into the game, and they had to keep themselves in the game if they had any chance of qualifying out of this group and into the knockout stages. For Inter Milan, they've only picked up 2 points so far after 3 games in the UEFA Champions League. It is not looking good for Antonio Conte, and there's definitely going to be questions for the Italian manager, because last season they went out at this stage and found themselves in the Europa League, and by the way things are going, it does look like that they still have to play Real Madrid next yet again. And no doubt Real Madrid are definitely going to do their homework, and they will do their homework, and they'll just have to get that victory, because if they fail to win that game, then well, Antonio Conte could find himself in a situation that he really does not want to be in. And then FC Porto took on Marseille, and it was a pretty easy win for FC Porto. In all honesty, they got off the mark pretty early on in the game. Marseille had a penalty that Payet actually skied in a rare outing for him, in a rare penalty miss for him. But it was an easy victory for Marseille. They got a penalty of their own that Diego Rivera tucked away pretty calmly, pretty easily. And Porto find themselves with another victory, another 3 points, and they march on. Atalanta took on FC Liverpool with Jurgen Klopp's men winning 5-0. Diogo Jota scoring a hat-trick, and now he has 7 goals for Liverpool this season. So far, he has been the dream signing, and it is a surprise actually, because Diogo Jota was meant to come in to be a backup striker to one of the front 3 in Sadio Mane, Firmino, and Mohamed Salah. But he's come in and he's saying to the manager, and he's telling his teammates that, you know what, I'm here to play. I'm here to win you guys the trophies. I'm here to do what I'm meant to do. And if that means that I need to be in the starting lineup, then I'm going to do what it takes to be in the starting lineup. He's giving Jurgen Klopp a dilemma right now, because now you have Roberto Firmino, who is definitely an integral part of this Liverpool lineup. And we all know that he makes that front 3 mash up. He makes that front 3 work together. And in all honesty, watching Diogo Jota play alongside Sadio Mane and alongside Mohamed Salah, you can tell that he is no Roberto Firmino, but he offers something else that Roberto Firmino has not been offering Liverpool for quite some time now, and that is the goal. So it's putting Jurgen Klopp in a position whereby, do I keep my trust in Roberto Firmino, or is it about time that, you know what, I'm supposed to take a risk now. I'm supposed to be the manager and take a bold decision, and then put in someone who is getting exactly what he is supposed to do, and which is the goal. So of course Jurgen Klopp came out defending Firmino, saying that, you know what, he's still an integral part of this team, and it would be delirious of him to just throw him out of the starting lineup, because Diogo Jota has come in and scored, all these goals and stuff. But there's a just statement for Diogo Jota as well. But it'll be interesting to see how he fills in, or how he sets up his front 3. But at the same time, it's a good dilemma for him to be in, because you have players who quality players and are performing for him, and that's exactly what a manager wants. They were talking about Liverpool in general. They were leader on the counter-attack. Atalanta found themselves open, left themselves open on numerous occasions, and for the Salah goal, he ran from his own half after a terrible terrible corner kick, and scored. It was a shambles in the defensive end for Atalanta, and they took some time to actually get into the game. They got some pretty good chances in the second half, with Duvan Zapata having missed like 3 clear-cut chances where he would have scored for them and gotten them into the game. But on the night, Alisson as well was perfect. He was good, exactly what Liverpool have been missing. And Liverpool in general kept the ball so far up the pitch, and they did exactly what they were supposed to do. They were organized. That, you know what, even their inexperienced back line, whereby they had the likes of Rice Williams and stuff, it worked out for them, and they really did not have a lot to do on the night defensively. And then, of course, Michelin took on FC Ajax, with Ajax getting that 2-1 victory over Michelin. And well, decent results in that sense. And well, both teams for Michelin, they are currently at the bottom of their group stage table. Ajax find themselves in 3rd position. And if they can build on from this win, then probably they can get themselves into the top 2 and perhaps qualify from the group stages into the knockout stages. Then, of course, there was Borussia Monchengladbach that won by 6-0. Alassane Plie scoring a hat-trick, and well, they find themselves at the top of the group that includes Real Madrid and Inter Milan. And well, they're enjoying themselves right now. They are enjoying themselves right now. If they can keep this run up, then there is no doubt that they're going to get themselves into the knockout stages, that I think they're definitely going to do. And it will be interesting to see just how far they go in this competition. Now, that was all on Tuesday night. And of course, we have more round of games coming up to you this week. Today, actually, on Wednesday, where we have Juventus taking on Ferencváros. We have Manchester United taking on Istanbul Besiktas. And of course, Chelsea taking on Rennes, and then PSG, who currently have a striking dilemma, because there is no Kylian Mbappe, there is no Neymar, and there is no Mauro Icardi, who are all out injured. So Thomas Tuchel will have to find somebody. Of course, Moise Kean has been a revelation since his move. You still have Di Maria there, but there are no Mbappe or Neymar. But you'll just hope that those two can go out there, do a job, and get PSG the result. So there is more footballing action, Champions League action coming up to your television screens. So sit back, enjoy it, and I'll see you guys soon.